Yes. So let give someone else a chance.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Hello. When you were talking about sending people who use drugs to drug addiction programs, I think that you were making a distinction between let them, get whatever pleasure that they get from their activities, so long as they do not hurt someone else, and only to punish them if they do hurt someone else. And to me, that sounds like a very appealing. Very appealing way of thinking. My only question is, what if you can predict with a reasonable degree of certainty that this individual who is using crack cocaine or whatever is much more likely than average to do something that will violate other citizens' rights? At what point can society decide to proactively protect itself rather than say, okay, let him do the antisocial act, let him leave someone quadriplegic and then punish them. That it's justice, but it doesn't help the person who has been injured.
What is your own answer to that question?
I don't think that there is a good answer, but I'm more comfortable. There is a good answer. I'm more comfortable with, acting on the good of the many and violating perhaps that 1 in 100 crack users, right, who wouldn't do anything that would harm anyone else.
That's a very honest answer. I don't like it, but it's a very honest answer. And I tell you why I don't like it. This question and the answers to it are again as old as the hills, and especially as old as American and Anglo-American moral philosophy and law. Actually, you know very well that there is one group of human beings in the United States about which this prediction can be made more accurately than any other. Mm-hmm. Which group is it? They're not addicts. Males? Males of what age and what color? Young black males. Even black leaders recognize this. I mean, this is not a racist comment. Now, does this justify in some way treating one of these individuals who may be completely innocent differently than you and me? See, you are saying you want to throw out the old principle that it's better to let 1,000 guilty people go free than to convict one innocent. Well, that's very dangerous, because once you start convicting one innocent, you're going to go and convict millions of innocents. So everybody who's going to be convicted will be innocent, essentially like in Russia or Nazi Germany. I mean, we have tried this. It's not going to be one. The one is just going to be the first one. Because it's much easier to convict innocent people than to convict guilty ones. In fact, that's the old idea that if deterrence is a principle which we accept, then why not punish innocent people just for the sake of deterring other people? These are very old questions. You gave a very honest answer. It is a popular answer in some ways of preventing addiction, because these people, when they take drugs, will commit crimes. Yeah. Now, this whole ideology, and I've written 2 books on this, is a complete pack of lies, because people don't commit crimes because of drugs, they commit crimes because of drug prohibition.
Well,
they commit crime. The cause of crime, drugs don't cause crimes, drug laws cause crimes.
Yeah, I'm not saying that drugs cause crimes. I'm not making.
Well, then what business does society have in prohibiting?
I'm saying that people who use drugs are more likely to commit crimes.
No, that's because they cannot get drugs legally in America. I mean, this is a very different subject you are raising now. You can't use drugs in America because every drug that's interesting is illegal in America. No. I mean, come on, where have you been?
Much of it is killing people for the money to buy the drugs. But I guess that's more an example. I guess what I'm saying is...
but let's stick to it, because you see, you are picking an example, ignoring the legal structure, ignoring the responsibility of the American population for voting for politicians who bring in these laws. You are responsible if you don't protest against this. You talk about what are we responsible for abstractly.
Uh-huh.
Instead, many of you treat drug addicts. That's it.
I think the drug laws are part of it. I don't think that it's only the drug laws for which reason, drug users commit crimes. I don't think that if you took all the drug laws away, that people who were addicted to crack cocaine would suddenly be as unlikely to commit crime as regular non-addicted.
There's no evidence for that, but because you see what you are implying is that there are two categories of people who commit crimes without drugs and people who commit crimes because they take drugs. Well, there's no evidence for this. Most people who have committed crimes have been, in fact, the most famous person who has committed a crime in this century has been the most violent anti-drug person in the 20th century. He was even a vegetarian. Adolf Hitler. He was more against drugs than Nancy Reagan.
Okay.
And he was very good to his dog. I mean, this business of being against drugs, you can still be a pretty bad person. You can be against drugs, but do not be very nice to people. I mean,
right. But the broader point.
So this got nothing to do with anything. And the founder of the Johns Hopkins Medical School was a morphine addict. Not to mention Sigmund Freud. Was he likely to commit crimes? He was a cocaine addict. I mean, where have we been? When I went to the Chicago Institute for Psychoanalysis, the only psychopathology that any could point to was one. I didn't smoke. I was the only one. Literally. It's the 1940s. There was nobody around who did not smoke. I was the only person there.
Well, what some people in the audience have been saying is even if you legalize the drugs, people may still commit crimes just to get the money. To get the money to buy the drugs.
Well, why should they get money for any more than for green peppers? Or lettuce? Or aspirin? I mean, I don't understand your point. Of course people steal because they want money. Let's give someone else a chance.
The broader point is about utilitarianism, really.
Humanitarian? No.
What?
No, you keep talking about drugs, but I'm trying to say that if drugs were as legal as green peppers, then this dialogue wouldn't make any sense. There's alcohol, cigarettes. Yeah. No, but you see, they are taxed too much. I prefer green peppers.
I'd like to